The news is hot, it's on the street. Stories breaking, skip a beat. Sanglikars weekly got the juice. Truth unleashed, no excuse. Weekly, what's the scoop? News so fresh you'll jump the hoop. Stories rolling, headlines pop. Sanglikars weekly never stops. From the markets to the skies, politics to fashion highs. Every week it's something new. We bring the world right to you.
And for the fourth Saturday of August 2025, a few stray thoughts, and a few general remarks, and a few points of view, by way of a roundup of the week. All my own musings. Like, the annual ordeal for Mumbai is over. Unless Mumbai comes to a halt, it doesn't feel like rainy season, does it? But this time 516 millimeters of rain in 48 hours gave a good excuse to BMC to call it a calamity. The monorail services in Mumbai were disrupted between Chembur and Bhakti Park due to a technical snag amid heavy rain. Passengers dialed the civic body helpline number, following which fire officials arrived at the scene and rescued them. Like, the parliament session is over. End of cacophony. Ritual of passing bills is over. The monsoon session of Parliament.
The monsoon session of Parliament just wrapped up, 1 month from July 21st to August 21st, with 21 sittings in both houses. On paper, the government had lined up 15 bills for passage and 8 for introduction. In reality, all 15 got cleared, but instead of 8 new bills, Parliament saw 14. And one major bill, the income tax bill, was pulled back mid-session, only to return in a revised form. But here's the catch. While the legislative scoreboard looked strong, actual productivity was weak. The Lok Sabha worked for just 29% of its scheduled time, the Rajya Sabha for 34%. Most of the time was eaten up by debates, while questions and legislative work got much less space. Some key bills made headlines. The National Sports Governance Bill, the Anti-Doping Amendment, reforms to the Mines and Minerals Act, and changes to the IIM Act. Shipping saw a big push too, with new laws on ports, merchant shipping and coastal trade. And then came the surprise move, the Promotion and Regulation of Online Gaming Bill, brought in and passed in just 24 hours, banning money games but promoting esports and social gaming. So yes, Parliament did push through 14 regular bills and 1 appropriation bill. But with constant disruptions and low working hours, this session showed once again numbers on paper don't always tell the full story.
Parliament session fruitful for government, unsuccessful and damaging for opposition, says Kiran Rijiju. Some members came prepared to disrupt instead of protests, Rija said, and added that for the first time the opposition skipped the customary meeting with the speaker. I think the opposition needs to be more specific in its opposition to 130th Constitution Amendment Bill. Whatever be BJP's motive, can anyone approve of Chief Minister or Prime Minister ruling from jail? 3 bills introduced by Amit Shah to ensure the removal of elected representatives, arrested or detained on serious criminal charges from office. Bill to be sent to Joint Parliamentary Committee. Union Home Minister Amit Shah drops a political bombshell. In a fiery address, he highlighted new bills aimed at tackling corruption, which could even see prime ministers, chief ministers and ministers arrested if found guilty.
Item number 20, 21 और 22 महोदय मैं प्रस्ताव करता हूं कि भारत के संविधान का संशोधन करने वाले विधेयक को पुनर्स्थापित करने की अनुमति दी जाए। महोदय मैं प्रस्ताव करता हूं कि जम्मू कश्मीर पुनर्गठन अधिनियम 2019 का संशोधन करने वाले विधेयक को पुनर्स्थापित करने की अनुमति दी जाए। महोदय मैं प्रस्ताव करता हूं कि संघ राज्य क्षेत्र शासन अधिनियम 1963 का संशोधन करने वाले विधेयक को पुनर्स्थापित करने की मंजूरी दी जाए।
Tharoor supports the bills introduced by Amit Shah to ensure the removal of elected representatives, arrested or detained on serious criminal charges from office. Union Home Minister Amit Shah drops a political bombshell. Bihar elections in mind? Tamil Nadu polls in mind?
ये क्या हो रहा है? अरे ये क्या हो रहा है? ये क्या हो रहा है? अरे ये क्या हो रहा है भाई?
Corrupt leaders should be arrested and punished. Sri Lanka's former President Ranil Wickremesinghe arrested for allegedly misusing state funds.
A high-profile arrest shook the island today. It wasn't some gangster or corrupt civil servant. It was a former president, Ranil Wickremesinghe. And this is unprecedented in Sri Lanka. No former president has ever been arrested in this country. But that streak ended today. Wickremesinghe was interrogated by investigators in the morning. Later in the day, he was arrested in Colombo. The former president did not spend the day in custody though, because hours later, he was granted bail. So what charges is he facing? Misuse of public funds. The case is linked to Wickremesinghe's foreign trips. He made 23 trips from 2022 to 2024. 23 trips in almost 2 years. Their total cost was around $2 million. Now, official trips are fine, but investigators say some of these visits were personal. Today's arrest is linked to one such visit in 2023. Wickremesinghe had visited Cuba for a summit. On his way back, he stopped in the UK, and while there, he and his wife attended a ceremony at the University of Wolverhampton. The university conferred his wife with a professorship. So far, so good. Now, at the time, Wickremesinghe said that it was a private trip. He said his wife paid for the stop and that no state funds were used. But investigators say that that is not the case. They say that the trip was state funded, that public money was also used to pay bodyguards.
Government has banned online betting games. Over to court with argument it involves skill, not just betting. But wasn't Dream 11 our cricket team sponsor? Just asking. Ban on online money games.
The government is ready to hit pause on cash gaming apps, and this time it's game over for real money betting. A bill to ban online money games involving cash was introduced by Union IT Minister Ashwini Vaishnav in the Lok Sabha today. The proposed law aims to prohibit gambling and cash-based transactions in online gaming. It was cleared by the Union Cabinet just yesterday and formally tabled in the Parliament today. Once in play, the bill will ban all cash-based transactions for online betting. Banks can't transfer funds and flashy ads for real money apps will also be blocked. Meanwhile, the All India Gaming Federation urged Home Minister Amit Shah to regulate, not ban online gaming. It warned that the proposed bill could harm the industry, drive players to illegal platforms, and threaten jobs in a legitimate growing sector.
To my mind, the government should be legalizing online gaming and taxing it, regulating it and taxing it, because then the benefits of the money that people are spending anyway on this process can be spent on social causes. If you simply ban it, it goes underground and the mafia makes money from it. We know that what's happening with gambling in this country, there is matka, there is illegal betting on cricket, this and that. Who is getting the benefit of that? Only the crooks and criminals and gamblers. Whereas the government should have actually regulated and taxed it, as many other countries are doing elsewhere in the world.
Scientific temper versus political temper.
Kiran Rijiju posted on his X page, "Our hero astronaut Captain Shubhanshu Shukla has returned home after a successful mission to International Space Station. Parliament will honour him with a special discussion on his historic milestone and India's growing space ambitions in our journey towards Viksit Bharat." Congress MP Shashi Tharoor said the opposition will not participate in the special discussion in the Lok Sabha on astronaut Shubhanshu Shukla's space mission. However, Tharoor praised the achievement, calling it a landmark moment for India's space ambitions, replying to Kiran Rijiju's post on X urging discussion on Shubhanshu Shukla. "Since the opposition are not participating in the special discussion, let me say how proud all Indians are of the recent mission of Commander Shubhanshu Shukla to the International Space Station. It served as a stepping stone to our nation's own human spaceflight program, Gaganyaan. Shukla's mission provided ISRO invaluable hands-on experience data that cannot be replicated in simulations," Tharoor wrote on X.
हमारी अंतरिक्ष की उपलब्धियों के लिए अंतरिक्ष से जुड़े विशेषज्ञों को और वैज्ञानिकों को बधाई देने में भी असफल हैं और उसके लिए तैयार नहीं। आपकी नाराजगी सरकार के साथ हो सकती है, आपकी नाराजगी भारतीय जनता पार्टी और एनडीए के साथ हो सकती है, परंतु हैरत है आपकी नाराजगी एक अंतरिक्ष यात्री, एक गगन यात्री के साथ भी हो सकती है। और वो एक ऐसा अंतरिक्ष यात्री जो एस्ट्रोनॉट होने के साथ साथ भारतीय वायुसेना का एक अनुशासनबद्ध सिपाही भी है। उसका ताल्लुक ना किसी राजनीतिक दल से है, ना किसी राजनीतिक पार्टी के साथ। आपको बार बार संसदीय मंत्री जी की ओर से अपील की गई, स्पीकर अध्यक्ष जी की ओर से अपील की गई, लेकिन ये अजीब मंजर है अध्यक्ष जी, आप धरती से भी नाराज हैं, आप आकाश से भी नाराज हैं और आज आप अंतरिक्ष से भी नाराज दिखते हैं।
In a major development, the long-awaited revamp of goods and service tax has moved a step closer, with the group of ministers on GST rate rationalization agreeing to cut down the numbers of slabs. In a key meeting held on Thursday, the panel of state ministers accepted the centre's plan to reduce the four-rate system to main slabs of 5 and 18%. The move marks the beginning of what is being called GST 2.0, aimed at making the tax system simpler, easier to follow and less of a burden on households and businesses. At present, GST is charged at four different rates: 5%, 12%, 18% and 28%. Under the new structure, the 12% and 28% slabs will be scrapped. Goods and services will now mostly fall under 5% or 18%. Apparently, a higher 40% levy will continue on a limited list of sin goods such as tobacco and certain luxury items. The panel also recommended that luxury cars be brought under the 40% tax bracket. According to the plan, 99% of items that were earlier taxed at 12% will now move to the lower 5% slab. Similarly, nearly 90% of the items under the 28% slab will shift down to 18%. The ministers reached a broad agreement after reviewing detailed proposals from the Finance Ministry. The centre has said that the new structure will bring relief to households, farmers and the middle class by lowering the GST rate on everyday items. Medicines, processed food, clothing, footwear and several household products are expected to move to the 5% slab. Large household appliances, televisions and other durable goods will fall under the 18% rate instead of earlier 28%, which could reduce prices for middle class families. With that, GM approves scrapping of 12% and 28% GST slabs.
National policy on stray dogs.
The Supreme Court today has amended its previous order on stray dogs. Remember, it's been a very contentious issue. Earlier, the Supreme Court had ruled that all stray dogs in Delhi were to be removed in a matter of months and that they were to be put into shelters outside of the NCR region. However, several people petitioned the Supreme Court. The Chief Justice finally said that they would look into the matter, and today what has come as a huge relief to many of those activists and stray dog lovers is that the Supreme Court has now changed its order. It has said that MCD can remove dogs, but those dogs, after they are sterilized and vaccinated, must be returned to the neighborhoods that they were in. But if the dog is aggressive or if the dog has rabies, the dog has to stay in the shelter. The Supreme Court has also said there will be no feeding of dogs in public places, not on the streets. However, it has said that the municipality can designate certain feeding spots. So that's another, a relief in a sense, but also a demand of many people that there was too much of feeding of stray dogs in various places without any sort of organization. The Supreme Court has also asked union territories and states to now come up with their responses on this issue, and it's not the end of the matter. They are going to come out with some sort of a national policy on stray dogs.
Plea in Supreme Court challenges Centre's E20 petrol policy, seeks ethanol-free fuel option to consumers. A public interest litigation has been filed in the Supreme Court challenging the Union government's ethanol blending program, which mandates the sale of petrol blended with 20% ethanol. The petitioner, an advocate named Akshay Malhotra, argued that making only E20 petrol available, without providing consumers the option of ethanol-free petrol, violates the fundamental rights of millions of vehicle owners whose vehicles are not compatible with the higher ethanol blend. Also, such a program, without creating public awareness, violates the right of the consumers to have an informed choice as per the Consumer Protection Act, 2019. The petitioner submits that millions of Indians are unaware that the petrol in their vehicles is not 100% petrol but a mix of ethanol and petrol, which vitiates the basic component of an informed consumer choice due to non-disclosure of a material fact to the consumer. Can't amend Constitution. Centre opposes Supreme Court's timeline for President, governors to clear bills. Supreme Court cannot set deadlines. PM Modi warns Supreme Court. Can't assume powers Constitution has not vested. Centre warns Supreme Court against judicial overreach.
आज सुप्रीम कोर्ट और सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के बीच टकराव का मुद्दा है। क्या प्रेसिडेंट और गवर्नर्स के लिए एक फिक्स्ड टाइमलाइन डिसाइड की जा सकती है जब उनके पास लेजिस्लेचर द्वारा पास किए गए बिल्स भेजे जाते हैं? अब इस डिबेट का सीड अप्रैल 2024 में पड़ा था। सुप्रीम कोर्ट की एक बेंच जिसमें जस्टिसेस जेबी पर्दीवाला एंड आर महादेवन शामिल थे, उन्होंने एक सिग्निफिकेंट ऑर्डर पास किया। ऑर्डर ये था कि जब भी कोई लेजिस्लेचर बिल गवर्नर या प्रेसिडेंट को भेजती है तो उन्हें एक फिक्स्ड डेडलाइन के अंदर डिसीजन लेना होगा। गवर्नर्स के लिए 1 महीना और प्रेसिडेंट के लिए 3 महीने। कोर्ट ने कहा था कि इनडेफिनेट डिले करना डेमोक्रेसी के स्पिरिट के खिलाफ है और इसलिए क्लियर टाइमलाइन जरूरी है। लेकिन इसी ऑर्डर पर बैकलैश आया। प्रेसिडेंट डॉक्टर द्रौपदी मुर्मू ने खुद आर्टिकल 143 के अंदर एक प्रेसिडेंशियल रेफरेंस फाइल किया और 14 क्वेश्चन सुप्रीम कोर्ट के सामने रखे, जिसमें कोर इशू ये था कि गवर्नर्स और प्रेसिडेंट की एग्जैक्ट पावर्स क्या है जब उनके पास स्टेट लेजिस्लेचर के बिल्स आते हैं। क्या सुप्रीम कोर्ट जुडिशली उनके लिए टाइमलाइंस प्रिस्क्राइब कर सकती है? फिर जुलाई में सीजीआई बीआर गवई की लीडरशिप में एक 5 जज कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बेंच ने मैटर लिस्ट किया। बेंच में उनके अलावा जस्टिस सूर्यकांत, विक्रमनाथ, पीएस नरसिम्हा और अतुल एस चंदोरकर भी शामिल है। बेंच ने क्लियर टाइमलाइन सेट किया। सेंटर और स्टेट्स अपने रिटन सबमिशंस 12 अगस्त तक फाइल करें क्योंकि 19 अगस्त से डिटेल्ड हियरिंग होगी और इसी डेडलाइन के तहत सेंटर ने अपना रिटर्न सबमिशन फाइल करके लोगों को शॉक कर दिया है। इस सबमिशन में गवर्नमेंट ने एक स्ट्रॉन्ग वार्निंग दी सुप्रीम कोर्ट को। गवर्नमेंट ने कहा कि अगर ऐसे जुडिशियली इम्पोज्ड डेडलाइंस अलाउ की गई तो ये डेलिकेट सेपरेशन ऑफ पावर्स को अपसेट करेगा और अल्टीमेटली कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल केओस क्रिएट करेगा।
Will give view on presidential reference, won't decide validity of Tamil Nadu governor's verdict, says Supreme Court. Keeping aside objections of Kerala and Tamil Nadu governments on the maintainability of the presidential reference, Supreme Court on Tuesday said it would give its opinion on the president's 14 queries if it finds these raising important questions of law on SC's power to fix timelines for her and governors in granting, withholding, or refusing assent to bills passed by assemblies. Chief Justice of India said, "We are not deciding the validity of the April 8 Tamil Nadu judgment regarding its governor's role on bills. We are only deciding presidential reference and will be giving an advisory opinion. We will first decide whether a question of law of public importance has been raised in the reference." A 5-judge constitution bench of the Supreme Court is hearing the presidential reference by President Draupadi Murmu on 14 questions on the power to assent on bills, including whether court can fix timelines for the president and governor to decide on bills. The presidential reference, made under Article 143, came a month after Supreme Court's judgment in Tamil Nadu governor's matter was given on 8 April 2025. The Supreme Court on July 22, 2025 issued notices to the union government and all states on a presidential reference seeking its opinion on whether the president and governors can be judicially compelled to act within prescribed timelines on bills passed by state legislatures. Will Supreme Court adhere to the 3 months time limit set for governor?
You are watching Sanglikar's Weekly.
Like, I think with withdrawal of voter data and apology by Professor Sanjay Kumar, psephologist, I think Rahul Gandhi should rethink Vote Chori slogan. It may boomerang like Chaukadar Chor campaign. The first half of the parliament session was hijacked by debate on Sindoor. Indian democracy won in the debate. Parliament won in the debate. Debate in Parliament won. But sadly, the valor of the armed forces was not applauded. The first-time annihilation of Pakistan airbases was not recognized. Questions like, how many Indian planes were shot down reverberated, while there were no question on the aircrafts Pakistan lost. Why was POK not taken, why was ceasefire announced were questioned and Modi surrendered were repeated. Vote Chori. Rahul Gandhi's latest political weapon. Election Commission was painted the villain. Present and past election commissioners were warned of dire consequences if Congress returns to power. Impeachment threat was given to the present election commissioner. Protest in Parliament. Protest marches outside Parliament. T-shirt protests. TMC leaders Mahua Moitra and Mitali Bagh faint during Vote Chori protest. I was almost close to fainting, Priyanka Chaturvedi on protest. CSDS psephologist disowned data used as proof for Vote Chori and created shock. Bear with it till Bihar elections. Lakhnidi CSDS psephologist Sanjay Kumar apologizes for error in Maharashtra poll data post. Will this man not check data and facts before going public? What is his apology worth? Will he stop calling himself a psephologist hereafter? Lakhnidi CSDS psephologist Sanjay Kumar issued an apology after facing backlash over a now-deleted post on the Maharashtra Assembly elections, in which he claimed a steep fall in voter numbers in 2 constituencies compared to the 2024 Lok Sabha polls. Kumar admitted the error occurred due to misreading of data by his team and clarified that there was no intent to spread misinformation. However, the ruling BJP dismissed his explanation, with party IT cell chief Amit Malviya alleging political bias and accusing Kumar of repeatedly pushing anti-BJP narratives. The controversy has sparked debate over data credibility, electoral analysis, and political narratives.
Lokniti CSDS psephologist Sanjay Kumar's retraction of Maharashtra data complicates Rahul Gandhi's vote chori claim. Was Rahul Gandhi's vote campaign based on the psephologist's wrong analysis and data?
महाराष्ट्र के बाद हमने थोड़ी अपनी इंक्वायरी शुरू की। कर्नाटक में 1 सीट चुनी, बेंगलोर सेंट्रल, और उसमें 1 विधानसभा में हमने सारी की सारी वोटर लिस्ट चेक की।
SC has dismissed petition challenging Maharashtra 2024 elections.
Because amid the allegations of vote theft by the opposition and protests in the parliament that's ongoing over the verification of voter rolls in Bihar, the Supreme Court has dismissed a petition challenging the validity of the 2024 Maharashtra Assembly election. So what does this mean? This means that this is nothing but a setback to the Congress party, which has been claiming that the verdict in Maharashtra was rigged. So the petition, which was earlier jumped by the Bombay High Court in the month of June, alleged that there was bogus voting during the polls held in Maharashtra that took place in November. So a bench comprising of Justice M.M. Sundaresh and N.K. Singh was hearing this petition, which was filed by Chetan Chandrakant Ahire, who alleged that about 75 lakh bogus voters had cast their votes after the polling deadline of 6 p.m. and this petition now has been junked. So another setback to the opposition as it blazes ahead with its vote chori campaign.
Congress party now wants to impeach election commissioner.
The war between the opposition and the Election Commission has escalated. Sources have told India Today that the opposition is now mulling to impeach the Chief Election Commissioner Gyanesh Kumar, but the opposition is also going to be falling short of the numbers if they choose to do so. The motion is required to be passed by two-third majority in both houses of parliament, and this comes after the CEC launched a series of sharp rebuttals against recent allegations of vote chori. DEC dared Rahul Gandhi to show sabut or to show an apology over his vote chori claims. The poll panel asserted press conferences are insufficient, demanding credible evidence within 7 days. Following this, the Congress party accused the Election Commissioner of displaying blatant partisanship and claimed that the CEC claimed to be speaking like a BJP spokesperson.
The impeachment effort comes close on the heels of Lok Sabha accepting a motion to impeach Justice Yashwant Verma in the Cashhall case. Here is a look at past high-profile impeachment attempts. The INDIA bloc and other opposition parties considered and prepared a notice to move a no-confidence or impeachment resolution against Rajya Sabha Chairman and then Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar, primarily as a political signal. There is no precedent for such a move against a Vice President, and the opposition did not have enough numbers in Parliament to pass it. The motion was eventually rejected by Rajya Sabha Deputy Chairman Harivansh. A serious controversy erupted when large amounts of burnt cash were discovered at the Delhi High Court judge's residence. An inquiry committee was constituted by the Lok Sabha Speaker on August 12, 2025, to investigate the allegations, marking the start of impeachment proceedings. A total of 145 Lok Sabha members have signed the impeachment motion against Justice Verma under Articles 124, 217, and 218 of the Constitution. Deepak Mishra, Chief Justice of India. Opposition MPs tried to initiate impeachment proceedings against then Chief Justice of India Deepak Mishra. The Rajya Sabha chairman rejected the motion at the preliminary stage. Justice C.V. Nagarjuna Reddy, Andhra HC Judge. Over 50 Rajya Sabha MPs signed a motion to impeach Justice Reddy of the High Court for Andhra Pradesh and Telangana in 2017 over charges of physically assaulting a judge of a lower court. However, the motion was dropped after 9 MPs withdrew. J.B. Pardiwala, Gujarat HC Judge. In 2015, a group of 58 Rajya Sabha MPs moved an impeachment notice against Justice J.B. Pardiwala of the Gujarat High Court for his objectionable remarks on the issue of reservation. Hours after the impeachment notice was sent to Hamid Ansari, the judge removed the wording from his judgment. Justice Soumitra Sen, Calcutta HC Judge. The impeachment proceedings against Justice Soumitra Sen of the Calcutta High Court took place in the Rajya Sabha in 2011. Sen was accused of misappropriating funds in his role as a court-appointed receiver and of misleading the court even after his elevation to the bench. The upper house passed the motion. Justice Sen became the first sitting judge to have an impeachment motion against him passed by the House of Parliament. He subsequently resigned. Justice S.K. Ganjil, MPHC Judge. In 2011, more than 50 Rajya Sabha MPs signed a motion seeking the removal of Justice S.K. Ganjil of the Madhya Pradesh High Court. He was charged with allegations of sexual harassment by a former district and sessions judge in Gwalior. The motion motion was dropped after an inquiry committee did not find enough proof against the judge. Can CEC be impeached? According to the Chief Election Commissioner and other election commissioners, appointment, Conditions of Service and Term of Office, Act, 2023, the CEC can be removed in the same manner and on the same grounds as a Supreme Court judge. It will require a motion of impeachment by Parliament. The motion requires at least 100 signatures in the Lok Sabha and 50 in the Rajya Sabha for introduction. A two-third majority in the respective house is needed for it to pass the motion.
ये क्या हो रहा है? अरे ये क्या हो रहा है? ये क्या हो रहा है? अरे ये क्या हो रहा है भाई?
Failed once. No lessons learnt.
Is it true, sir, just a minute, is it true that Rahul Gandhi, when he put out the slogan, Chaukidar Chor hai, he says none of you supported him. You didn't want to take on Mr. Modi at the time. Is that true or not?
We have taken Modi, but not these cheap slogans.
You didn't approve of this slogan?
No, none of the senior people has approved it.
You believe it was the wrong way of taking on...
No, and you have seen the result. You have seen the result. It cost Rahul Gandhi himself his own seat and the party also. You can oppose the policies of Modi, and for that any leader. You can oppose the way of functioning the leader, Prime Minister. You can oppose the institution or muzzle. You can oppose, which I have done on the floor of the House, blow by blow, for 7 years as leader of opposition.
Yes.
But where is the need to tell Prime Minister in every meeting, the entire speech devoted, that Prime Minister chor hai, Chaukidar chor hai? Who will give you vote?
I failed. So it's over? No, it's not over. OMG. Will someone tell, failure is success, only if one learns from it.
After Chaukidar Chor hai, now it's vote chori. Rahul versus Election Commission. War of votes.
अगर आरोप 1.5 लाख मतदाताओं का हो तो क्या बिना किसी सबूत के, बिना किसी हलफनामे के 1.5 लाख मतदाताओं को नोटिस जारी कर दिया जाए? क्या यह न्याय संगत होगा? कानून में न प्रावधान है, न कोई शपथ पत्र है, न कोई एविडेंस है, न कोई सबूत है, तो क्या 1.5 लाख नोटिस जारी करके उन मतदाताओं को एसडीएम के दफ्तर में बुलाया जाए और यह कहा जाए कि आप फर्जी हैं? क्या मतदाता चुनाव आयोग से यह नहीं पूछेगा कि आपके पास क्या सबूत है? आज भी आपके मीडिया में चल रहा है, जितने नाम लिए गए सब एक एक करके सामने आ रहे हैं, और अगर चुनाव आयोग ने उनको नोटिस दिया होता तो हमारी साथ गिरती की बढ़ती? किसी ने सवाल पूछा था तो मैंने सोचा बतलाता चलूं। बिना किसी सबूत के किसी भी वैलिड मतदाता का नाम नहीं कटेगा। चुनाव आयोग हर मतदाता के साथ चट्टान की तरह खड़ा हुआ है। अगर कोई सोचता है कि एक पीपीटी देकर, जो कि चुनाव आयोग के आंकड़े नहीं हैं, चुनाव आयोग ने मतदाता सूची जरूर दी है, लेकिन पीपीटी में गलत तरीके से एनालाइज करना, गलत आंकड़े देना और यह कहना कि पोलिंग ऑफिसर ने कहा है कि इस महिला ने 2 बार वोट दिया है, इतने संगीन विषयों पर बिना हलफनामे के चुनाव आयोग को काम नहीं करना चाहिए। ये संविधान और कानून दोनों से विरुद्ध में होगा। दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा जनतंत्र है भारत। दुनिया का सबसे बड़ी मतदाता सूची हमारे पास है, लगभग 90 करोड़ से 100 करोड़ के बीच में। सबसे बड़ी मतदाता सूची, सबसे बड़े चुनाव कर्मियों की फौज, सबसे ज्यादा मतदान करने वाले लोगों की संख्या, और इन सब के समक्ष, सारे मीडिया के समक्ष यह कहना कि अगर मतदाता सूची में आपका नाम एक बार और है तो आपने 2 बार मतदान किया होगा और कानूनी अपराध किया होगा, और मेरे सारे मतदाताओं को अपराधी बनाना और चुनाव आयोग शांत रहे, संभव नहीं। हलफनामा देना होगा या देश से माफी मांगनी होगी, तीसरा विकल्प नहीं है।
Will this political war help Congress win Bihar elections? Unwarranted criticism. IAS officers condemn personal attacks on CEC over opposition's vote theft claims. The IAS Officers Association disapproved unwarranted criticism and personal attacks against Chief Election Commissioner, CEC, Gyanesh Kumar and his family. Like, it's CP Radhakrishnan versus B. Sudarshan Reddy for Vice President election. Why is it being played as Tamil Pride versus Telugu Pride? VP Elections 2025.
Maharashtra's Governor C.P. Radhakrishnan is now the NDA's pick for India's next Vice President. At 68, he is not new to politics. In fact, his journey began way back in Tamil Nadu, where he grew up in Tirupur and joined the RSS as a teenager. His big moment came in 1998. Just months after the Coimbatore blasts, Radhakrishnan won the Lok Sabha seat as a BJP candidate. He won again in 1999, making him one of the very first BJP leaders from Tamil Nadu to score back-to-back victories in Parliament. People in Coimbatore even called him the Vajpayee of the South for his calm style and ability to connect across party lines. If he wins the September 9 election, Radhakrishnan will become only the second person from Tamil Nadu to serve as India's Vice President, nearly 4 decades after R. Venkatraman.
INDIA bloc picks former Supreme Court Judge B. Sudarshan Reddy as Vice President candidate.
Sri B. Sudarshan Reddy Garu is one of the India's most distinguished and progressive jurists. He has had a long and eminent legal career, including as Judge of the Andhra Pradesh High Court.
TDP stands firm with NDA VP pick. TDP leader Nara Lokesh says there is no ambiguity, only warmth, respect, and resolve. NDA stands united. YSRCP support for NDA. YS Jagan Mohan Reddy confirms backing CP Radhakrishnan as VP, party to vote in Vice President election. Will KCR sail with opposition over Sudarshan Reddy? Like, China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi was in Delhi and Jaishankar, in Beijing. Thawing of relations? But what about border dispute in Taiwan and Galwan? Can we trust the dragon? Russia welcomes Indian goods.
The Indian goods are facing difficulties entering the US markets. The Russian market is, would welcome Indian imports to the most extent possible. So, don't worry about that.
Russia stands by its principled stance on non-interference in bilateral disputes, says Kashmir is a bilateral issue between India and Pakistan. The Russian official position on the issue of Kashmir and Russia's principled stance on non-interference in bilateral disputes remain unchanged, the Russian embassy said in a statement. The solution should be found between India and Pakistan only, and it should be based on the achieved agreements, including the Simla Agreement of 1972 and the Lahore Declaration of 1999, Russia said. India-China relations.
Peace at the border, resolving the boundary issue, reviving trade and investment. These were the main themes of Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi's 2-day visit to India. During talks in Delhi with External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar and National Security Advisor Ajit Doval, both sides announced measures to stabilize ties, including reopening border trade, boosting investment flows, and jointly maintaining calm along the frontier. The Doval-Wang dialogue held under the Special Representatives Framework produced several agreements. To pursue a fair and mutually acceptable boundary settlement, create an expert group on early harvest measures and boundary delimitation, establish a working group on border management, set up general-level mechanisms in different border sectors, and make full use of existing diplomatic and military channels. Jaishankar and Wang Yi discussed resuming bilateral dialogues, boosting cooperation, and increasing people-to-people exchanges. Wang also met Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who reaffirmed India's commitment to a fair, reasonable, and mutually acceptable resolution to the boundary question. In a social media post, Modi said India-China relations have made steady progress, guided by respect for each other's interests and sensitivities since he met Chinese President Xi in Russia last year. Wang's visit is largely seen as part of ongoing efforts by the two neighbors to rebuild their relationship after it came under severe strain following the Galwan Valley clashes in 2020. The renewal came amid strain in ties between New Delhi and Washington over President Donald Trump's policy on tariffs.
One China policy.
India and China made a number of important announcements during Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi's visit to Delhi this week, including on border trade, restarting direct flights, as well as Prime Minister Modi's upcoming visit to Tianjin for the SCO summit. But amidst the productivity, there was a prickly moment over Taiwan, as the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Beijing issued a statement saying that during the course of the conversation, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar had said Taiwan is a part of China. The Ministry of External Affairs came back, said India has not changed its position on Taiwan and that it maintains ties with Taipei on culture, on economics, as well as technological ties. Remember, India does have a representative mission in Taipei, and the Taiwan government has a mission, a cultural center in Delhi, but India does not recognize Taiwan. So why is this even an issue? In 1950, India recognized the Communist Party-led People's Republic of China government in Beijing that had defeated the Kuomintang government, or what's called the Republic of China, and the leadership had moved to Taiwan. However, China claims all of China, including Taiwan, and wants countries to assert what it calls the One China policy. Only a handful of countries, actually about 12, recognize Taiwan. Now, as far as India is concerned, since 2010, the previous Manmohan Singh government decided not to reaffirm the One China policy. It didn't change its policy, but not to state it, in protest against China's policy of issuing stapled visas for Indian citizens from Arunachal and Jammu and Kashmir, which it called disputed territory. A former External Affairs Minister, Sushma Swaraj, suggested to her Chinese counterpart when they said, please assert the One China policy, that China should assert the One India policy as well. That's why it would have been extremely significant and a shift in policy if External Affairs Minister Jaishankar had now reasserted a One China policy. In diplomacy, sometimes it isn't just what you say, but what you choose not to say that becomes the most significant message.
Trump picks Sergio Gore as next U.S. ambassador to India, calls him great friend. U.S. President Donald Trump has named Sergio Gore, White House Personnel Director, as the next U.S. ambassador to India and special envoy for South and Central Asian affairs. Announcing the move on Truth Social, Trump praised Gore for hiring nearly 4,000 officials across departments in record time. Trump described Gore as a great friend who worked on his campaigns, published his books and managed a major super PAC backing him. He said Gore's appointment ensures a trusted ally for delivering on his agenda in the most populous region in the world. Gore will succeed Eric Garcetti, who served until January 2025, with interim envoy Jorgen K. Andrews currently heading the U.S. mission in New Delhi. Why did Elon Musk call Sergio Gore, Trump's pick as U.S. ambassador to India, a snake? In mid-June 2025, Elon Musk took to X to call Sergio Gore, one of Donald Trump's closest aides and who is currently the director of the White House Presidential Personnel Office, a snake. Musk's post came shortly after a New York Post report claimed that Gore, who oversees vetting for thousands of executive branch employees, had not completed his own background security clearance paperwork for a permanent security clearance. The report further claimed that he was still operating under an interim clearance despite his high-level vetting responsibilities. The White House, however, strongly disputed these claims, asserting that Gore had completed the necessary documentation, and his clearance was active. Eagle and the Snake. Oh my God. H-1B ban next? India-US ties frosty due to Trump comments, MAGA talks of ban on H-1B visa. Even as US President Donald Trump has ratcheted up his tariff talk against India, his MAGA base is drumming up for one more step to hit India modify or ban H-1B visa so that fewer Indians can get jobs in the US. US Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene urged Donald Trump to halt H-1B visas for Indians, claiming they replace American jobs, while also calling to cut Ukraine aid. Her comments followed Trump's threat to raise tariffs on India over Russian oil purchases. India rejected the tariffs as unjustified, noting US and EU also trade with Russia. The episode highlights rising tensions over trade, visas, and geopolitical disagreements in India-US relations.
Delhi Chief Minister Rekha Gupta attacked. 35-year-old man slapped Delhi CM during Jan Sunwai. Preliminary interrogation has revealed that the accused, identified as Rajesh Bhai Khimji Bhai Sakriya, a 41-year-old resident of Rajkot. Police said he remains in custody and will face detailed questioning to determine his motives. You are watching Sanglikars Weekly.
U.S. broking firm Jefferies has recommended its clients to purchase Indian stocks rather than sell them, as U.S. President Donald Trump's tariff policies are bound to take a U-turn, a report said on Monday. In the report by Jefferies, Christopher Wood, a leading analyst at the U.S. broking firm, suggested that its clients consider investing in India owing to the current global market environment and the possibility that Trump will eventually change his stance, which is not in America's interest. Sensex kept swinging with Trump and tariffs. U.S. Fed Chief Powell refused to budge under pressure from Trump.
Any additional tariff impulsively announced by the American president is not a punishment on India. It is also a burden on the American consumer. And that will have repercussions in their own economy. There has also been a bit of a misreading from the Indian side, because I think there is a cultural gap between the way our Indian administration views the world and their understanding of American politics and the way the present administration in America behaves. The Indian administration seems to have believed that by having one or two joint events with President Trump in the past, that they have developed some sort of a personal equation with Trump. That is not true. And their understanding and the nuances of the American administration perhaps has also led to this. But we shouldn't get flustered. We should negotiate hard, keep our self-interests in mind, and we will eventually come to some sort of a conclusion.
Like, after ED, Anil Ambani's house and offices were raided by CBI in connection with fraud. When are they arresting him?
अनिल अंबानी के घर पर सीबीआई की रेड, बैंक फ्रॉड केस में एफआईआर। सीबीआई ने अनिल अंबानी के मुंबई रेसिडेंस और रिलायंस कम्युनिकेशन से जुड़े जगहों पर रेड की है। ये एक्शन एक बड़े बैंक फ्रॉड केस में हुआ, जिसमें स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया को लगभग 2000 करोड़ रुपए का नुकसान हुआ है। सीबीआई ने आरसीओएम और उसके प्रमोटर्स डायरेक्टर अनिल अंबानी के खिलाफ एफआईआर रजिस्टर की है, जो एक सस्पेक्टेड लार्ज स्केल बैंक फ्रॉड से संबंधित है। सीबीआई की टीम आज सुबह अंबानी के साउथ मुंबई के घर पर पहुंची और डॉक्यूमेंट्स और डिजिटल एविडेंस कलेक्ट कर रही है।
Tax filing made simple.
And Jio does it again. They're focused this time on income tax filing, and this could have a major impact on chartered accountants, fintech platforms, and everyday taxpayers. Let's dive into what this means for everyone involved. But First, the news. Jio Financial Services, through its Jio Finance app, launched a new low-cost tax filing and tax planning service, which is starting at just 24 rupees for self-service filings. They have partnered also with Tax Buddy to offer expert-assisted filings, which is starting at 999 rupees. With this new service, taxpayers can now file their income tax returns directly through the app, enjoy personalized tax planning, and access both self-service and also expert-assisted filing options.
You are watching Sanglikar's Weekly.
Like, Thackeray brothers jointly contested insignificant best cooperative election and lost all 21 seats. Union leader Shashank Rao was the clear winner ahead of even BJP. Bal Thackeray's legacy is not heritable?
Maharashtra's Cultural Affairs Minister Ashish Shelar made a very interesting comment yesterday. He said that if you add 0 to another 0, the result will be 0. Now, what was this reaction for? This was Ashish Shelar's reaction when it became clear that the alliance of Shiv Sena Uddhav Sahib Thackeray and Raj Thackeray led Maharashtra Navanirman Sena in the elections of BST's Cooperative Credit Society had earned not a single seat. They drew a complete blank. They did not win even one seat. Whereas out of 21 seats, 14 seats were won by Shashank Rao led panel and 7 seats were won by BJP led panel. Now Shashank Rao led panel is also BJP panel. So in a way it can be said that the BST's Cooperative Credit Society has now been taken over by the BJP.
Like, a female employee of Amerilodge Group has filed a lawsuit in USA against company's CEO Asad Malik for sexual harassment and resultant dismissal. One more CEO.
Exposing the timeline in a high-profile workplace harassment case. What really happened at that Justin Timberlake concert? Let's break down the facts. The CEO of Amerilodge Group, Asad Malik, is facing a lawsuit from former hotel manager Stephanie Starling. Starling alleges that during a company event at a Justin Timberlake concert, Malik made unwanted advances, groping her and trying to kiss her multiple times. She says the incident left her shaken and unable to work the next day. After reporting the behavior to supervisors and HR, Starling claims she was excluded from work and lost email access. The company said they couldn't verify her claims due to a lack of witnesses. Starling, who had worked there for 8 years, insists she was fired after speaking up, despite not resigning. Amerilodge reportedly offered her a settlement, which she refused, calling it hush money. Starling is now suing Malik and the company for harassment and retaliation. Amerilodge has declined to comment, citing ongoing legal proceedings. The case highlights ongoing concerns about workplace culture and accountability.
Like, it is reported that, as per self-declarations, Mamata DD is the poorest chief minister with assets worth rupees 15 lakhs. And N. Chandrababu Naidu richest at rupees 931 crores. Believable? Filming trailer of Bengal Files was disrupted in Kolkata by TMC. Is TMC opposed to Vivek Agnihotri or to his film? The film depicts old historical events. The past refuses to lie buried.
विवेक अग्निहोत्री की फिल्म द बंगाल फाइल्स का ट्रेलर लॉन्च इवेंट कोलकाता में रद्द कर दिया गया। विवेक ने इसे राजनीतिक दबाव करार दिया और कहा कि ऐसा कदम उनके बोलने की स्वतंत्रता पर हमला है। फिल्म पश्चिम बंगाल में हिंदू अल्पसंख्यकों पर कथित अत्याचारों पर आधारित है। इससे पहले फिल्म का पोस्टर भी विवाद में रहा था। विवेक का कहना है कि यह फिल्म द कश्मीर फाइल्स की तरह सच्चाई सामने लाएगी।
Like, film industry celebrated 2 events last week. 50 years of Sholay and 50 years of superstar Shivaji Rao Gaikwad, that is Rajinikanth. Truly milestones. And as expected, Rajini's coolie is breaking all records.
कितने आदमी थे? सरदार, 2 आदमी थे.
50 years later, Jay and Veeru are still writing, not just to Ramgarh, but straight into India's ads. Welcome to the country's longest running brand blockbuster, Sholay. So when Sholay hit theatres on 15th August 1975, it was not just a film. It became India's most enduring advertising toolkit. Somewhere between Gabbar's Kitne Aadmi The and Basanti's non-stop chatter, brands found a goldmine of recall. They've been mining it for decades, quite literally. Recently, Amul rolled out a Golden Jubilee poster with Jay and Veeru on their iconic bike, bottle in hand, with the tagline Pure 50 Saal Amul Blockbuster. Well, this trend is no overnight phenomena. Back in late 70s, Britannia roped in Gabbar Singh to sell glucose biscuits. The iconic villain swapped bullets for biscuits, and Gabbar ki asli pasand went straight into advertising legend. Reliance joined the party too with quirky Sholay-inspired animated ad that pulled in eyeballs. Then came Orbit's hilarious chewing gum spoof, mixing nostalgia with humor to create pure magic. Even politics could not resist over the years. Sholay's character and dialogues have been borrowed for satirical jibes and campaign punchlines. So from Britannia biscuits in the 70s to Amul's smart advertising in 2025, Sholay proves that nostalgia works best when brands don't sell a memory, they create a moment. So in Ramgarh, Gabbar was a villain. In advertising, Sholay is the hero brand still can't stop casting.
என்ன வாழ வைத்தும் தேவங்களான ரசிக பெருமக்களுக்கு
சும்மா அதிரதுல எனக்கு இன்னொரு பேர் இருக்கு. மல்லடா, இது சூர்யா சார், அண்ணாமலை.
25 வயசுலயும் கூலிங் கிளாஸ் போட்டு ஸ்லோ மோஷன்லயே நடந்து வர இந்த ஆளு வந்து
அரங்கம் அதிரட்டுமே, சில்லு பறக்கட்டுமே, கரங்கள் வசலட்டுமே.
Like Srajpal, described by the British newspapers as inspirational business magnate, died at 94.
Lord Swaraj Paul, the renowned NRI industrialist and philanthropist, passed away in London at the age of 94. Best known as the founder of the Caparo Group, Lord Paul was a towering figure in British industry and a generous philanthropist. Born in Jalandhar in 1931, he moved to the UK in the 1960s seeking treatment for his daughter Ambika, who later died of cancer. Her memory inspired the creation of the Ambika Paul Foundation, and he was appointed a life peer in the UK's House of Lords, where he became a vocal advocate for strong UK-India ties. Despite personal tragedies, including the loss of his son Angad and wife Aruna, Lord Paul remained a respected and resilient public figure. Prime Minister Modi expressed deep condolences, calling Lord Paul a stalwart of industry and public service whose legacy will endure.
Like in sports, Rajiv Shukla, BCCI Vice President, said Roko duo, that is Rohit and Kohli, are not retiring.
When BCCI's President Rajiv Shukla was asked in a recent interview, will Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli get such a farewell as Sachin Tendulkar got? So Rajiv Shukla said Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli have not retired yet. They are still active in the ODI and will continue to play. You guys have already started talking about farewell. And your policy is very clear. We don't tell any player when to retire. They decide it for themselves. And when the pool comes, we won't tell them how to crops. You guys have already started saying farewell to them right now. Virat Kohli is very fit and Rohit Sharma also plays very well. So why are you getting worried about farewell?
And Beijing is hosting Robot Olympics. Like I don't know what Karnataka Deputy Chief Minister DK Shivkumar was trying to achieve by singing RSS anthem in the Assembly House. Congressmen were flustered.
Karnataka Deputy Chief Minister stoked a controversy after he sang the Rashtriya Swayam Sevak Sangh anthem in the State Assembly. The footage has surprised many, given Congress's long-standing ideological opposition to the RSS, which is widely regarded as the ideological parent of the ruling BJP and is known for its right-wing nationalist stance. As the video triggered a controversy, Shivakumar clarified that he was a born congressman and will remain one. Meanwhile, he also stated that RSS was expanding its roots in Karnataka.
Namaste Sada Vatsale Matrabhumi Jaya Hindu Bhumi Sugam Varditoham Mahamangale Namaste Sada Vatsale Matrabhumi Jaya Hindu Bhumi Sugam Varditoham Mahamangale. I made a big research on all political parties. I know how RSS is building institutions in Karnataka. I, being a leader, I made research. They are acquiring every schools in every district, taluk headquarters, investing a lot of money. They are trying to preach children. So as a leader, I should know who are my opponents and who are my friends. So I just try to know about the RSS, the history of RSS. I know them. Politically, we have a lot of differences. That is a different issue. But BJP also should know that I have gone very deep to them.
So questions are being asked whether you're indirectly hinting.
No direct hinting, no joining hands, nothing. I am a congressman. I will lead the Congress by pillar, by birth, by life.
And finally, I read this profound statement in Commerce. The gold and bond markets exude trepidation over outlook. I am trying to figure out the meaning. Can you?
So Donald Trump dies and he goes to hell, and when he gets there he meets the devil, and the devil says, listen, you're definitely meant to be here, but we don't have any room for you. So in order for us to accept you in, we're going to have to let somebody go. He said, but I'm going to make it fair and I'm going to let you choose who gets to leave. So come with me. So he takes Trump to 3 different doors, and he says, behind one of these doors is somebody you can set free and take their place. He said, but like I said, I'm going to let you make the decision. So Donald Trump opens the first door and he sees Barack Obama, and he's jumping off a diving board, landing in a pool, getting out of the pool, getting on the diving board and jumping back in. And he's doing it over and over repeatedly. And Trump goes, I don't think I can, I don't think I can do this for eternity. So no, I don't think I can do this. So the devil says, all right, we'll check door number 2. So he opens up door number 2, and George Bush is in there, and he's got a hammer and he's breaking rocks, and he just keeps breaking rocks just consistently. Like he breaks one rock, another rock appears, and Trump goes, I got a bad shoulder, old golf injury, can't be doing that either. So let's go back and check door number 3. So the devil takes him to door number 3, and he opens the door, and Bill Clinton's strapped to a bed. And Monica Lewinsky comes in and does what Monica Lewinsky was famous for doing over and over and over again. And Trump goes, I think I can handle this. I can get used to this. So yeah, I'll take door number 3. The devil says, all right, Monica, you're free to go.
drives, where truth dances boldly and fiction takes flight. Every corner a saga, every line a new view. Sanglikar's Weekly, it's all here for you.
Part 2 follows.